Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday morning. Welcome to Powur Partners United, hosted by the Women of Power. You've got myself, Marisa Fletcher, Chrislyn Yim, Cynthia Alvidrez, and also Isela Bonata. We come here every single Thursday and put on a training to help you get the most that you can out of your power business. So we want to thank all of our guests that are here, all of our new guests and all of our guests that are returning. Thank you for coming back. We are just going to jump into our meeting. As some of you may know, we like to start out with inspiration. So at this time of the meeting, we've dedicated a few moments for people to jump on camera, jump off mute, and share some of their wins. What wins do you have from the last week or maybe the week before? Helped any new families go solar? Received any referrals? What about moved up a tier? Anything that's a win, you're more than welcome to share. I do see a hand up, so we'll give it to Barry to go ahead and share first. Go ahead, Barry, the floor is yours.
Well, good morning, everybody. Glad to be here once again. Currently working on hopefully closing an 18 kilowatt system, actually in Eastvale. I was in a store and I started talking to this customer, and turns out that he was looking into solar, and gave him my card. He sent me the electric bills. Then after I did the proposal, all of that, find out that his father's actually the one on title and he's in Michigan. So I got them both on a Zoom the other day. Father was bought in. His only question is, what was the battery for Solar Edge made out of? That was his concern. And he was talking about this lithium iron phosphate that they have in Michigan. Is that what we have here? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, but that's a great question for office hours.
I think Cynthia was nodding her head. I mean, yeah.
Oh, you do, Cynthia? We do?
Yeah, so Enphase battery technology, that's exactly what it is. It's a lithium phosphate battery.
Now, you said Enphase. What about the Solar Edge?
No, I don't think I think that is a lithium ion battery. I'd have to double check. Luckily, we do have 2 battery trainings coming up. We will have Spencer Rosen at the end of this month on this training. He's going to do a deep dive into selling batteries specifically for net metering 3.0 in California, or just batteries in general in other states, how to size them for a 5 kilowatt system, 7 kilowatt system, 10 kilowatt system. So that's going to be a really, really good training. And Michelle is coming on from Solar Edge as well.
Yeah, I should have been on this morning for that, because I got to figure this out probably today. So that's one of the things I'm working on now, is just to make sure this guy is happy with what he's getting. If I have to go to Enphase, we'll go to Enphase. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I would recommend leading with Enphase. That's the one that's LFP technology, the lithium phosphate technology. And lithium phosphate is just known to be safer and more reliable in the home than lithium ion. The issue with lithium ion batteries is that they have the potential to combust. And so lithium phosphate are just known to be safer in the home, more reliable. The Enphase battery we have is UL certified. UL certification is that the ultimate say in like fire hazard. They're the ones that tell us to put an outlet certain space away from the other outlet, and they're the ones that certified the Enphase battery. So I'm not sure if Solar Edge has that certification, but it would be good for us to
I'll probably give them a buzz or something today, because I just want to see what they say about that. Awesome. But yeah, otherwise I'm sure they'll be happy with the other one if need be.
Thank you so much for that share, Barry. We appreciate you, my friend. I see a few more hands. We're going to go to Lisa Bailey Harper and then Miss Denise Eccles right after her.
Good. It was afternoon here. Good afternoon. I just excited that you guys do this. I try to get on when I can, but I am tier 2 now, for real. So I'm doing my own deals. I'm working on a deal. Actually, tomorrow, I have 2 going going to install probably within the next couple of weeks or so. So that's hallelujah, great. And I'm just pressing towards tier 3, and I'm working to get a gentleman today who said he wanted to sign up on my team. So I am happy about this solar thing with the real estate thing. So hey, it's a marriage made in heaven, believe me.
Yes, yes, yes. Congratulations, Lisa. And congratulations.
Okay, I couldn't hear you going in and out.
You cut out for a
Uh,
second.
You're cutting out.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Denise now.
Denise, did you want to share your win with us? Go ahead.
I was trying to unmute.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I moved up to tier 2. So yay,
Awesome.
I'm happy about that. And I was surprised this morning with the bill that I didn't ask for. So I talked to them several months ago. And so they finally sent the bill this morning.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Yeah. And I have about 3 new ambassadors. So things are looking good.
Congratulations. You're building those streams of referrals. Eventually, those will just flow naturally. So nice job.
Thank you.
Good job. Thank you for sharing. And then who else has their hand raised?
I think it's Shaquan.
Shaquan.
Yeah, hello everyone. Yeah, Shaquan Michael. I'm a tier 3 with Powur in Connecticut. And some wins for me this week. I got 2 installs done, one on Monday, one on Tuesday. And also like an ambassador signed up today, as well as I got 2 referrals yesterday randomly. So that was pretty cool.
That's awesome. Things are moving along. That's so good. Congratulations. Thank you for sharing. And Damien, you have your hand raised. Do you want to share?
Hey, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Damien here from Lake Elsinore, California. Recently just got 2 bills. One of them was because I post a lot on social media, and in the middle of working with one client, I just received a bill automatically and didn't even ask for a bill. So I thought it was really great, and just to remind everyone to be consistent with your social media post, and things will happen.
Those surprise bills are probably some of the best surprise messages, some of the best morning texts we can get.
Absolutely. Agreed.
Congratulations. And you're in California too, so people are begging probably to go solar right now. So nice work.
Thank you. It's crazy. It's the mad rush right now.
Yeah, if you are not messaging people in California, now is definitely the time, because people are waiting to be messaged and solicited right now. So good job.
Correct.
Would anyone else like to share? Candace?
Hi. I'm sorry, I didn't raise my hand, but I'm Candace. I actually just recently joined a week and a half ago. I'm coming from the real estate background. And so I know there's some people on here that do real estate. I just want to know like how you juggle both. And I kind of don't want to confuse people when I'm trying to sell a home and also sell solar. I don't want to be too salesy. So can anybody give me some tips on, you know, in the real estate background on how they sell it and what they do?
Yeah, I'll share something really quick. So I work with a lot of real estate partners in solar, and we onboard them as sellers. So the number one fear they have is exactly what you mentioned. They don't want to look like they're just trying to do everything. And the good news is that you don't have to. If you don't want to sell solar on your own, you can use mentors, you can use tier 3 sellers on the platform, and you can still do it like a lead handoff. And remember that your clients are going to get door knocked by companies, and they're going to go solar. So you might as well be a great real estate agent and provide them to a quality vendor that you partner with. And so if you position it that way, it's really your responsibility as a real estate agent to connect them with a good solar representative. You might even want to reach out now to your client base and say, hey, I'm not sure, Mr. Homeowner, if you know, I'm not sure, client, if you know what's going on in California, but you might be thinking of going solar because of this. I just want to make sure that you go solar with the right person. I highly recommend Powur. For these reasons, I've partnered with them because they have a great warranty, great quality equipment, great pricing, right? So just realize that you don't need to market yourself as a solar rep. You could remain the real estate agent and just let people know you've partnered with Powur. And now if you're doing jobs solo, that's different. Then you really are the solar agent. And all I could say is,
well, I'm trying to separate them. So I'm trying to do my social media for real estate and then also another social media for solar. So it doesn't get, so people don't get confused. Obviously, I'm going to present it to my clients that I'm already currently working with. It's just, you know, it's kind of like you don't want to be too salesy. So that's kind of just where I'm at. I have a partner as well. So we kind of both, he's right here. So we're trying to figure out how to kind of separate it. Or I know that some people like Jonathan Bernasso, he calls himself the solar realtor.
So what I recommend for you, Candace, I've been in real estate for 23 years and then added solar 3 years ago with Powur. So that is the most common question that comes up. Why don't we get together for one-to-one afterwards? And I can share with you some ideas, the things I did to, you know, for that level of separation that you're kind of talking about, because I'm in the same space as you were. I was in that same space 3 years ago, if that makes sense.
I'll put my number in the chat and then we can connect after.
I'll reach out to you.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
all right, looks like Marisa.
And then we have time for two more. We've got Tracy.
All right.
Yeah, hello everybody. So yesterday I got a new ambassador. It's a real estate agent that's in my BNI group, and he is going to do email. He actually already did an email blast yesterday out to his clients and got a couple responses back already on solar. And then hopefully today, fingers crossed, I'm going to be signing my first reseller under me. She's in Hawaii, so she's getting ready for us rolling that out in Hawaii. And she has a ton of friends and relatives on the mainland, so she's ready to get going. And hopefully today's the day she will be signing up.
Awesome. Congratulations. Breaking into Hawaii. Yeah, so Hawaii is opening soon. So for anyone else who has connections in Hawaii, it would be good to reach out to them as well. So
yeah, and it makes for a good reason to have a business trip to Hawaii.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds like a field trip. We should organize it. All right. And I thought I saw one more hand raised.
I think it was Leaf. Is it Leaf?
Skoberg, I think was his name. Are you still on?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Was there anyone, if it's the last one, I was going to offer to someone else if
no,
there's anyone else that wanted.
The floor is yours.
Thank you. Yeah. So I just to share kind of where I'm at in Powur, I joined about 5 years ago, actually, but I'm a pretty much full-time sustainability consultant and land use designer. And so I have my own whole business doing that. And I've just been kind of tracking Powur and watching their growth and evolution and, you know, taking the trainings and kind of selling solar as an upsell for my sustainability consulting. You know, if the homeowner was doing work with me and it's like, hey, have you, thought about saving with solar? And so I haven't done that many deals, only in California where I was, born and raised. But what I'd like to share is that I'm on the verge. I just signed my last deal to get to tier 3, and I'm completing all the trainings and everything. I still need to be certified, go through that whole process of kind of passing the test, but I'm excited to be on the verge of that and really just committing more of my my bandwidth and my energy to solar, because the industry is just taking off right now, and it's just such a amazing time to be a part of Powur, watching where it's come from and where it's at today and the potential. It's just kind of mind-blowing, and so I'm really happy to be here. And I actually live in New Jersey, and I haven't sold any solar here. I've been here for about 5 years. My whole network's in California, but I just did the training today on New Jersey, and I'm like, really just getting excited about the whole Northeast and expanding my business out here too. So thanks for listening, and happy to be here learning and sharing.
That's awesome. Congratulations. It's a major step up when you become a tier 3, because there are so many people joining the platform that need a tier 3 mentor, and that's when income really can take off. And really double or triple. And so congratulations on that. And then how do you pronounce your name, your first name?
Yeah, I pronounce it Leaf because I've born and raised in America, and usually people read it that way. But sometimes I'll get corrected by Europeans because in Sweden they pronounce it Leif,
Leif.
and then in Norway it's Life. So it really is contextual. But I've always been known as Leaf, and I'm a horticulturist. I'm a master gardener, and that's kind of the root of my sustainability consulting is environmental landscape design and how natural systems work, and then help people integrate with that. But yeah, so Leaf, the solar leaf, and the horticulturist.
Very cool. Got it. Thank you. All right, I'll turn it over to
Thank you.
now to start us off.
All righty. Sorry for those technical difficulties. Thank you for saving me. Please take a screenshot of the future trainings that we have. We have trainings every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and more on the Powur calendar. So if you go ahead and check out powurcalendar.com, you'll be able to have access to all of these trainings, as well as there's a direct link right here on the page. Also, when we send out our weekly newsletter and our email recap, we'll have these trainings on there as well. You can schedule them right to your calendar. There's also an NEM 3.0 toolkit for those that haven't seen that. There's a lot of resources here that Powur's put together for us, for you and your social media. And also Powur just announced the Spring into Solar incentive, a 1.5 years worth of payments to the homeowner if you use that incentive. So just want to make sure that everyone is aware of what's going on here at Powur, what they're offering. On that note, we will get into our training. So we have the wonderful Miss Chrislyn Yim. She is one of our Women of Powur. She's here every week. And in this week, there's been so many requests to talk about projects. How do we manage our projects? We get those questions at different times throughout the meetings. And so Chrislyn took it upon herself to show you her streamline or her flow of how she manages her projects. So I'm going to turn the floor over to Miss Chrislyn Yim. Chris, you've got the floor.
Awesome. Thank you so much, ladies. Welcome back to Women of Powur, everyone. We're super excited for everyone to be here today. And we're just going to cover some basic training today and navigate through how to manage your project. So on that note, let's go ahead and get started. A little bit about myself. I have been in the solar industry for 5 years now. Outside of Powur, I also do life coach and mentor, very involved with the community. I'm a real believer in mentorship. As someone has mentored me in the past, I like to give back and mentor others. So some photos here on the right, you could see it's a group of women and their children. I do host a weekly women's group in my home. I've opened that up just to kind of help and encourage women. I also coach through some lifestyle or freedom classes. And so I want to bring that and add the same value to the Powur platform by mentoring anyone that's coming into the platform and wants to learn about solar and how to navigate the platform. So today we're going to cover the topic of my projects. And so a few things that we're going to cover today is some best practices, how to create and submit leads, site information and summary, how to tag a tier 3 seller, how to upload onto assets, milestones, proposals, tickets, project timeline, and M1 and M2. So let's go on to our first topic, which is best practices. So as you could see here, let me go back. So the first thing that I would recommend for anybody new coming onto the platform, or anybody really in this platform, is get it right the first time. I'm not sure if some of you were on the call from yesterday or the training, but Jonathan Bernasso had mentioned that as long as we get all the information right from the start, we should see no delays in our project. So I would highly recommend that you get all the information correct and accurate from the beginning so that you don't see any stalls on your project. So the first thing is your homeowner information. You want to make sure that the full name is accurate and that they are on title. And why is that important? Because if they're not on title, they're not able to move forward. So you want to make sure that you have that information up front when you're uploading the lead into the system. You also want to get the most recent electricity bill. Why? Because you can't use a bill from a year ago. We need a bill that's most recent in order for us to calculate the kilowatt usage from the past 12 months accurately. You also want to gather some questions and concerns that you may not necessarily answer up front, but you want to write those down so that when you do meet with a tier 3 seller, when you cover the project, then you'll be able to share that information so that at the time of presentation, they'll be able to answer and address any concerns that they may have. Number 2, when in doubt, check knowledge base. I am super, I always say this, but knowledge base has all the information that you need, all the information that you're looking for. It's like our Bible for solar. So make sure that you're using knowledge base before even going to your tier 3 seller. As you all know, we're in a very busy season right now. So, you know, the less contact with the tier 3 as much as possible, that would help us a lot. But always know that you have knowledge base to go back to and see if you could find the answer. And of course, if you absolutely cannot find the answer, then that's when you could reach out to your tier 3 seller. Okay. So number 3, use tickets to communicate with your tier 3 seller and your project manager, and always allow up to 48 hours for a response. Just because they don't respond to you in 24 hours or even 48 hours, they're not ignoring you. Just know that we have so many projects in the pipeline right now that they have to get to. So everything is just in order. In the order that it's received is the order it's going to be responded to. So make sure that you're patient and that you're allowing up to 48 hours for a response. And number 4, learn as much as you can from experienced tier 3 sellers so that you don't have to pay for your mistakes. I know that, you know, coming into a new platform and doing things new, I've had my fair share of mistakes that cost me thousands of dollars. So instead of you trying to figure things out on your own, use a tier 3 seller who's very knowledgeable in the area that you're pitching to, and work with them. You know, I know that 50% of your commission might sound like a lot, but if I could be frank with you, that 50% commission is going to add so much more value to you because you're going to learn how to navigate through obstacles that you might come across in the future. So those are some of the best practices that I'd like to share with all of you. And, you know, if you're a tier 3 seller, or if you have any best practices, let's share on the chat. You know, these are just some of the things that I do. So let's share and share with everybody else here. Okay. So let's go on to how to create and submit leads. So important information that you want to gather is 1, the full name of the homeowner on title, 2, the email address, and you want to make sure that you're using the homeowner's email address. Do not use your email address. Why? Because that email address will be the main contact for contract signing, project updates, and you want to make sure that everything is correct and accurate from the beginning. So again, do not use your email address. Make sure that it is truly the homeowner's email address that you're tagging onto the project. Number 3 is the phone number. You also want to make sure that the phone number is accurate, the home address is accurate, and the utility bill is the most recent one. So if I could just walk you through how to create a project, I'll go ahead and do that just to walk everyone through how to create a lead. So we're going to go to our projects here, and you'll go to leads, and you'll add a lead. So for the sake of training, we're just going to put test, and then solar@gmail.com. And then we'll just go ahead and just put whatever information we can here. And then I'll just put 123 roadway. Okay, and then Cerritos, California 90703. And then you want to select a file and make sure that you're uploading the utility bill. So that's how you upload the bill. And then I like to also keep track of how I'm getting these leads. So if you got it from an ambassador, click ambassador, or Facebook ads, whatever it is, you go ahead and select it just for your own reference so you can keep track of it. So once you have all that information in there, you're going to go ahead and create the lead. Actually, I think I'll have to use another address because it won't let me. So just for this training purposes, we'll put it here. 90650, create lead. And once you create the lead, you'll be able to see it here. So test. And another important information that you want to make sure is when you open up the map, make sure that the drop down, the pin is on the correct house. So here we are. I don't know why it's not pulling it up, but as you guys could see, so once you have that and you got the pin on the right home, you're going to go ahead and qualify the lead. And once you qualify the lead, you're going to automatically go into the projects tab here. So let's go back to my slide real quick so we can move forward, but that's how you would create and submit a lead. If you have any questions about that, you can go ahead and type it in the chat, but let's move forward onto the site information. So in the site information, these are some of the things that I do encourage you to gather for your tier 3 seller, because the more information you have up front, the faster the process will be. And of course, it makes for good practice when you do all these things. So in the site information, you're going to get the annual consumption. And the way that I do the annual consumption is I created a calculator for myself, and I can share this with all of you. I'll make a copy and share this with you guys if you don't know how to calculate it, but it's as simple as plugging in the kilowatts for the month, and then you'll get your total down here, and that's what you'll plug into your site information in this area. And then you'll also select your utility company. So some highlights here are the roof age, roof type, and main service panel. So as much information as you can gather in the site information, that will tremendously help the tier 3 seller so that we can request a proposal as quickly as possible for the project. So roof info, construction details, home HOA, the homeowners association information, that's one that you want to make sure you ask if they have that. And if they do, plug it into the system. And the type of work, is it going to be solar and roof? And also add any notes regarding the project that you feel should be shared with your tier 3 seller or the platform. So we'll move on to the next step, which is tag a mentor. So the way you tag a mentor is once you have a project, you'll go down here. So you're in the summary page and you'll go down and you will select add a tier 3 partner. And from here, you could select and search now. So I'm going to go ahead and as you can see, Cynthia Alvidrez is here. So once you see the tier 3 seller, you can go ahead and assign, and that'll automatically assign them. But an important thing that you have to know is just because you assigned a tier 3 seller doesn't automatically mean that they're going to get right back to you. So with the amount of workload happening right now with NEM 3.0, another best practice would be after you tag a mentor, call the mentor, email the mentor, text the mentor, and set a date and a time to discuss the details of the lead that you just tagged them with. And I know that Cynthia does this. I know Marissa does this as well, is they'll set up a time where they're going to go over the project with you and walk you through the process. So again, when you tag a mentor, make sure that you're calling them, emailing them, texting them. Over communication is key, just to ensure that your project is moving forward. Okay. Now, let's move on to uploading assets. So in assets, this is where you'll upload the driver's license, utility bill, any roof quote. You could also request for the site survey photos to be uploaded on here from the project manager. And that might be a little advanced, but this is just an area of where all important documents that's pertaining to the project will be uploaded. And for that, you can also revisit it just for your review in the future. So just keep this in mind when you're working on your project. And here's another important area is milestone. So in milestone is really where you're going to track your project. So as you could see, project at a glance, you'll see if your project status is active with the last milestone completed. So it looks like the site survey was completed. And then the next milestone to complete would be the design. And then you'll also see your, expected net profit and consultant commission in this area. So everything and important dates will also be recorded in milestones. And as you could see on the right side are the project manager notes. So make sure that you're looking at this area at the milestone and the project notes before you create a ticket so that you understand exactly where your project stands. Of course, if it's been a week or a little longer and you don't understand what's going on with your project and there's no updates, that's when you create a ticket. So milestones is, the first place you want to look to check on the status of your project. Okay, so now let's talk about proposal. So for most of you, you're already a tier 2, tier 3. However, for anybody new coming onto the platform, what you should know is that a tier 3 seller will be the one to request a proposal. So the first, and the tier 3 seller is the only one who could request the proposal until you hit milestone into tier 2 seller. So just be aware of that. And once the tier 3 seller does request the proposal, there will be an initial email saying that the proposal is ready. But when you see that email, understand that that's just the raw proposal. So at that point, that's probably when you're going to meet with your T3 seller that you tagged and cover the basics and navigate how best to propose a design to the homeowner. So just a few things that's on the proposal is the cover page, which is a customer information, the system design overview, just to show how many panels the home design is, as well as where the placement of the panels are. Usage graph, just to show you the difference between what the offset would be, a savings summary, the financial details, meaning are they going to go cash or what program are they going to choose, whether that be with Sunlight, Mosaic, GoodLeap. And then you'll go into your detailed savings summary where it shows how much your homeowner is going to save in 25 years, whether they choose to stay with their electric company or go with solar. That'll show the detailed savings summary. It'll also show the solar impact, how many trees planted around the neighborhood if they go solar, what the added value would be to a home if they went solar. And then, of course, the process page where it shows step by step on what the project's going to look like for the homeowner. And number 9 would be the proposal summary. Okay, so this here on the right side is what you'll see for the proposal. And like I mentioned, tier 3, tier 2 and tier 3 are the only ones that could select the project proposal request until you hit tier 2. So this is where you'll find your proposal and you'll be able to review it here. But I do recommend that if you're not a tier 2 seller or a tier 3 yet, make sure that you're always communicating with your tier 3 seller before you touch the proposal, because you don't want to adjust anything and then come the day of proposal, things changed and then your tier 3 seller is not aware of it. So just make sure you always communicate with the tier 3 seller if you have questions regarding the proposal. So in the proposal, this is the design page that I mentioned to you. This is where you're going to see modules, how many panels there will be. So in this case, there's 8 panels of Hanwha Q cell. There's a solar edge inverter, and the system size is 3.2 kW. And here you'll see the system, the estimated yearly production, which is 4,576 kilowatt hour. And when you're in the proposal, you could actually click the system details that will show you how much the homeowner actually consumes and versus what this system would produce for them. And then we'll move on to the proposal equipment. So on the hamburger tab up here, you'll see that. And once you click it, your settings will appear on the right side. So in this area is where you'll hit equipment, and that's where you could select what type of panels, as well as what type of inverters you would like to use for this proposal. So that's just kind of like a brief summary of where you would go, just so you have an idea of how we create the proposal. Then we'll move on to financing. So financing, this is where you'll select whether they're going to go cash, whether they're going to finance it, and there's multiple different products. And again, I'm going to encourage you to get with a tier 3 seller who is more knowledgeable in financing options, because we want to make sure that we're providing the homeowner the best solution for their situation. And everybody's situation is different. So you don't want to just select a low interest rate for the sake of, presenting a low interest rate. So there may be some cases where homeowners have the capital to pay up front or pay a little bit more and have, with a little less on the total dollar amount. So you always want to make sure that you consult with a tier 3 seller and that you're fully comfortable with the financing options when you do start presenting on your own. So. And then in the proposal, there's also adders. So again, it's going to be on the top right hamburger button and then settings area, and you'll click on the adders. This is just, additional scope of work. So just as an example, I know that this project needed electrical, like the MPU upgrade. So we would select that in this area. If they have a flat roof or any other extra type of work that is needed for the project, you can, the tier 3 seller will help you navigate and teach you how to add and select the correct adders for each project. And all projects are not the same. So again, I'm going to keep communicating that a tier 3 seller will be able to help you navigate and select the proper adders for each project. And this one, the proposal PDF, if you wanted to keep a copy for yourself and send a copy to the homeowner, I would highly recommend that you export the PDF and save that file and share that PDF with your homeowner. I always tell my team to kind of try to steer away from the share and present from here, because it's almost like a live data. So if we're manipulating it, they're going to be able to see the changes. So what we want to send the homeowner is the exact proposal that we pitched to them. So again, export it to PDF and send them that information. So now let's talk about tickets. So tickets is where we communicate with our project manager and tier 3 seller if you're new to the platform. So One, when you create a ticket, that's to communicate again with project manager and your tier 3 seller. We want to allow up to 48 hours for the project manager or the tier 3 seller to reply to you, and always use the same open ticket. Unless it's closed and you don't have an open ticket, then that's when you want to create a new one. So this is the best way to get in touch with your project manager. So anytime you want an update or you have a question, this is where you'll go to communicate. So as you can see here, just as an example, I created a ticket on the 28th. And this is still a ticket that we use to communicate, and she'll leave that open until we found a solution for whatever the issue is at that time. So make sure you're using the tickets tab for communication, not emailing, not calling, not going through the chat. Just use the tickets and streamline it through the ticket tab only, because by you calling or sending an email to management, that's not going to speed up the process. The best way and the best practice is to create a ticket, stick with the ticket so that everything is documented for your records as well. So this is a big one. I love this. This is something that Chris Bernasso shared, and this is in the Solar Master Resource. And I'll put this link in the chat, and I'll share this with everyone because I believe that everyone should have this. When you have, this is just a breakdown of the project timeline. So you can kind of just take a look at this to help you just keep it in mind. And of course, right now we're in the busiest season of solar here in California. So things may be extended out a little bit longer, but this will at least give you an idea and who to contact as far as your project is concerned. Okay. So project contacts, this is also in the Solar Master Resource that Chris Bernasso created. So here are all of the contact information. Again, I share that link in the chat so you could save a copy for yourself and make it good practice to use that as your #1 reference. It truly has a lot of great information, not just these two. So make sure you have a look at that. And lastly, the M1 and the M2 process. So take a screenshot of this. If not, this is available in Knowledge Base. But these are the things that are going to hold your project back in your commission if you're not following the proper steps. So you want to make sure that all this is something that you keep in mind so that your projects move along smoothly and that you are getting paid on time. So again, this is in Knowledge Base, but that is really all I have for today. I hope I added value to you guys. And if you have any questions, my contact information is right here. And just a scripture that I always stand by, a plan without, write down the plan so that you could run with it. So other than that, I think that's all I have. So I'm going to turn it over to Marissa.
Thank you so much for that, Ms. Chris. As usual, amazing information, a great video for you, for the new people to the platform to share, to save and go through again so that you know what the steps are that we have. Also, thank you for sharing the master resource list from our brother Chris Bernasso, because that is an amazing tool. That's actually where I got the video that I shared in the chat with Barry, right off that master resource list. So if you guys haven't had a chance to at it, please do. Great information. On that same note, if you
We lost you, Marissa.
With this link as well. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep, we're good.
Okay, so if you guys take a quick screenshot of this, you'll have this information. Also, here is our Women of Power newsletter. If you add your first and last name, as well as your email, you will get added to this newsletter. Okay, it'll have all of our prior trainings, today's training, some of the things that we shared in the chat will be there as well. Okay. And we will end with a closing quote. Our closing quote is, just because something works doesn't mean it can't be improved. That was a quote by Shuri, Black Panther, quoted in 2018. And on that note, I'm going to stop the recording so that we can jump into our office hours. Thank you for taking the time to watch the Women of Power training series. I hope that you got some great value out of that video, and there's much, much more where that came from. Listen, if you'd like to join Power or find out more about this awesome and amazing platform, please feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is in the description. I look forward to connecting with you real soon. Have a great day.